I remember the start of the Kardashians. He was just kind of like there. So how was that transition of making him like come out as Scott? Like,
you know, Scott met Courtney through me and my friend Sean Stewart.
Okay.
He would come to LA with no clothes, no nothing, no watch, no anything, and he was living on my couch.
I think Kylie's $1 million a post, right? Or something. Like that.
I've done deals for Kylie. I mean, you could buy Kylie for $250,000. You could buy her for $1 million.
Welcome to the Digital Social Hour. I'm your host, Sean Kelly, here with my co-host, Wayne Lewis.
What up, what up?
And our guest today, David Weintraub. How's it going?
How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Chilling, man.
Great to see y'all.
Can't complain. I'd love to hear a brief summary of your life. If you could condense
A brief?
it to 60 seconds.
Yeah, I gotta do it real brief.
Yeah, you've lived.
You know, I am a entertainment executive, TV show creator, manager, producer. I was a former agent. I got my start as a A&R at Interscope and Death Row Records, working with, you know, the heyday of the Dog Pound and Snoop and Tupac. Worked for Eminem for a while. Was a talent agent at William Morris and UTA. And I've had my own management company and production company for the last 15 years. Made over 2,000 hours of television. And, you know, we've represented everybody from 50 Cent to Sarah Palin to Ray J, Scott Disick, and, you know, the Housewives and Love and Hip Hop cast and every reality star under the sun. And now we've segued into the influencer space heavily.
Wow.
So the influencer business is really like a key point of entry now for us in the digital media space.
That's insane. So you grew up around a lot of celebrities and you found a way to monetize it, basically.
Yeah, you know, growing up in Beverly Hills, I come from a family of like doctors and lawyers, but everybody that I was surrounded with, they were all like studio chiefs and actors and record company owners and like, you know, billionaires. And of course, like I grew up in a great household and I was able to, you know, make some great relationships in the private school system at in Beverly Hills. And I wanted to not be a doctor or a lawyer, and I wanted to become, you know, an entertainment mogul.
Right.
And one of my best friends, who was my co-star of my first TV show, Sons of Hollywood, on A&E, his dad is Aaron Spelling, who is the most prolific television producer of all time. So I was able to live, you know, 16 years watching Aaron and his lifestyle and his business and all of the crazy TV shows that he made. So I wanted to be someone that was not only an executive, but somebody that was able to come up with their own content ideas and then take them from like a thought in your head to full fruition. And I've been blessed to be able to do that in the non-scripted pop culture world, not in the scripted world that he was in, but in our own little segmented world of pop culture.
So speaking of the non-scripted world, you were able to get the biggest deals of all time in that world.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have we've hit some record precedent hitting deals for talent in that world with, you know, Ray J. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but Ray J is like the highest paid guy in all of non-scripted male fronted reality TV. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, makes to close to $200,000 per episode on a TV show.
Wow.
Every episode. So if they order 20 episodes times 200,000, you know,
That's a
that
bag.
could be done every 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bag right there.
I didn't know Ray J made that much.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't know either. So
Yeah.
him and you said, so Scott Disick is your guy too, right?
Scott Disick was, you know, Scott likes.
How did that transition go? Because I remember the start of the Kardashians. He was just kind of like there. Then he just kind of showed up. So how was that transition of making him like come out as Scott? Like,
You know, Scott met Courtney through me and my friend Sean Stewart when we had our TV show Sons of Hollywood.
right.
And that was about a year before the Kardashian show was picked up and then came out. So he was kind of just, you know, moving along, knowing us, and we knew them, and he, you know, they fell in love. And then when it came time for him to need a deal, I was the manager, I was the agent, I was the guy that knew how to do that, so I put together the team. So, you know, he's a guy who had a big personality and was able to be in the right place at the right time and have a relationship with somebody who exploded in television, and subsequently he got to go along for the ride. Now, I'm not saying that's the trick to the trade for everybody out there, but, you know, a lot of people can fake it till they make it.
Right.
You know, he was living on my couch.
Wow.
You know, he would come to LA with no clothes, no nothing, no watch, no anything, and basically be on Sean Stewart's couch or my couch and trying to be in our shows. And through that, he, hit the jackpot.
Yeah, became Scott
Wow.
Dixon because he's a
Rags to
brand now.
riches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a brand. No, it wasn't Rags. He's from the Hamptons. Ain't he?
No, he's not from there's a lot of, like, I don't want, that's my bro. I like,
Yeah. Okay.
I know
Yeah,
that
well,
love for him, but like,
yeah.
like,
But I can't give him the Rag.
I mean, if you look at all of my TV shows,
Yeah,
my first TV shows, when you
yeah.
see like people in the suits pulling up the way they pull up, everything that he aspired to dress like and be on TV,
Sure.
I was doing, before that. And
Oh,
so
okay.
you got to like learn from somebody.
Gotcha.
Right. You were also the youngest talent manager ever at UTA.
I was a talent agent
Talent
at that
agent,
point. Yeah. So I spent 2 years at William Morris, and then I spent 6.5 years at UTA. And UTA was a motion picture talent agent. So technically I was supposed to like read scripts and like look for movie deals for, the Jack Blacks and the Owen Wilsons and the Harrison Fords and all these people, and like, try to find movies for them. But I wound up signing a lot of people that were, emerging as pop culture talent, like the Osbournes and like Paris Hilton and, the kids from Laguna Beach and the kids from the Hills, and this sort of wave of pop culture that was happening. Those were kids that I knew. So those were like the influencers before influencing.
Right.
And through that, I was able to really move my way up very quickly in the agency world. So I was like suit and tie guy, black card from the agency, meetings, lunches, breakfast, and going to premieres and every event under the sun, and just being a part of that Hollywood community in a very front-facing way, which I'm not now. I'm really more of a I don't do all the events and all the, I try to like, I don't feel like that's good for actually closing deals. So back then I was, Mr. Personality, out at everything, and that's kind of why A&E decided to do a television show about my life.
Wow.
But yeah, I was the, I got promoted to agent at 24 years old.
Wow. So you didn't even go to college?
No, I did. I went to USC.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I studied business, entertainment business there.
Wow.
So I my first job was at Interscope Records. It was an internship when I was 15 to a full-time job
That's high
as
school.
as a junior A&R. And then Interscope owned Death Row. So I started working at Death Row, and then Death Row let me stay on and work at Death Row while I was in college.
Got it.
And then my buddy discovered Eminem, took Eminem to Dre, and I wound up leaving Death Row to go work for Eminem.
Can't complain with that move.
What did you do for Eminem? And let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How did you not? Well, I don't know, but how are you not like up mentally?
You don't know me well enough. No?
I am. Man.
Well,
you don't seem like you just seem like like 'cause most cats is like you meet them and it's like they got him. The industry usually gets people.
Well,
in a
when
way.
you're the deal maker,
Yeah.
and you're the guy that like handles the business,
right.
you can't really get up. So the people that get up are the talent,
Right.
because they don't give a shit and they're out there being talent. So if you're talent, like we have to protect our talent. We have to save them from the alcohol, the drugs, the scammers. You got to save them from that. So the business people, you can't up. If you up, you're not going to make it.
Right.
Now, granted, stress, lifestyle, and being in the mix, you can get caught up.
Yeah. But even with that, you're dealing with so much like power. Like, how did you stay grounded, or did you?
Well,
have times where you
my ego has gone up and down.
Okay.
I'm definitely sure about my abilities and like my track record and like goals that I wanted to attain. I attained. I wanted to be an A&R at a major record label. I did that three times. I wanted to be a talent agent. I did that. I made it. I was one of 100 that got promoted when I finally made it. And then I was in the boardroom. And then I gave that up. Then I wanted to create a TV show. I created it. And I also wanted to star in it. And I starred in it. Yeah. So I took ideas that were in my brain and I got people to invest in them. And when A&E invested in my first television show, they spent over $17 million on that show. So like I said, this is my concept. I know that my world is a show. My best friend is Randy Spelling. My other best friend is Sean Stewart, who's Rod Stewart's son. And we're all in the mix in this reality version of Entourage. And they bit and they bought it and went all the way. And then, you know, the next thing you know, you're on a fucking billboard, you're on a commercial, you're everywhere. But as much as you expect that to be a hit TV show, sometimes it doesn't always work that way because it turned out that show did well. You know, we did a lot of episodes of it, but it didn't go for a very long time.
Right.
People knew it and it had a huge presence, huge marketing. But the next show that I was a part of, which was Celebrity Rehab, that was a monster hit and made millions and millions of dollars for my company.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, you got to learn one to kind of fine tune it to then get to the next one. And the next one might not work, but then the next one works. And then the one that you never expect to work, that's the one you might retire off of.
Wow.
So you got to think about that, man. You got to think about all the things that you have in the burner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the coals that you got lit. Which one's going to pop first? You know, I got to turn this one over. I got to turn that one. I got to adjust that. Oh, I got to fix the deal on that. You don't know which one's going to work. And then when it does work, it can work to the next level.
Right.
And I'm in the next phase of that now with the new businesses that I'm trying to do and working with influencers like yourselves because you have to adapt to the changes in the industry. And there's huge changes going on right now. I mean, everything is based on a metric. Your entire existence as talent is based on a number. A quantified number that is on an analytic of what your views, likes, counts, everything is there. And basically a brand is going to look at you and decide how much your value is. Are you $500 or 500 million? What do you want to be? That's the question. And every day these buyers ask me that.
Yeah.
So I'll put up 10 people, very diverse. One will have more press than the other. One will be on a TV show. One will be the biggest person. One will be the biggest YouTube person. And they look at it and they go, does it check all the boxes? Okay, here's X amount of dollars to do X amount of posts. And that's where the business has now come.
Wow.
You know, it's not based on anything else. So it's kind of simplified it, but it's also made it, you can crush somebody's dreams in a second.
Because one person may have talent, but the other one's got the metrics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And may have zero talent.
Yeah, but he's actually more important because his influence goes further than your talent.
Yeah.
So they're always going to go there because of the reach.
Yeah, there's actors that can't get roles, but if you have 10 million followers, you could probably get that role.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about actors. I mean, I'm talking about pop culture. I'm talking about celebrity chefs, hosts, reality stars, influencers, fans, girl. You know what I mean? Like, there's a metric for everybody. So the game has changed.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is that there's more money quicker now. Like, the money happens so much quicker. The influencers that I work with, I have huge name rappers that we manage, okay? The influencers make 5 times what they make.
You serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Quicker. And they have to do less work.
Oh, rappers make money, but he's paying like faster money. And the
Faster money.
influencers can
Faster
get
money.
more deals quicker,
24-hour-a-day business.
Rappers, there's like 6 different entities pulling from $1.
The music label,
The music label, the producers, the writers, the engineers, and the management.
Well, you also have to think about how much work you have to do, okay? Because like the biggest money in being a performer is obviously streams and doing shows, okay? So the show money, you got to actually get on a plane, go to a city. You know, it's a whole process. An influencer, social media star, you're sitting there doing some shit with your phone. You edit it, pop it off, boom, push the link, da-da-da.
$10,000.
You know, $10,000.
Right.
Shit, like, you know, you got guys that are getting
Kylie,
10,000 a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
10,000 a minute. I mean, I'm not kidding you. So
I think Kylie's $1 million a post, right? Or something like
What?
I've done deals for Kylie. I mean, you know, you can buy, you can get her. It depends on the brand. You could buy Kylie for $250,000. You could buy her for $1 million.
For a
depends
post.
on what you bought her for. It depends on if she wants to do it.
That's still a
You
lot.
know?
Yeah.
So do you see influencers kind of being the new celebrity, modern day celebrity?
They are, but I don't want to put anyone down. I mean, it's just a different type of talent. You know what I mean? You'll see a lot of people that are like, oh, you don't sing, you don't rap, you don't do art, you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to rest. You're just like funny and you're talking shit. But like that has become a skill and a talent. So basically, your point of view is your celebrity. That is your talent. you're outspoken, you're willing to say something, you're willing to do something. But that also comes with like a different level of like how fast people become famous. You know, when you start making millions of dollars at 15 for posting videos, by the time you're 24, your shit is tweaked. You have no comprehension of what a real dollar takes to make because you made so much money so young that like I mean, I know influencers that were making millions and millions of dollars at 15 years old, and now they're 25, 26, and they have no concept of money. As much money as they make is as much money as they spend. They're not saving. They have no credit. They have no. So it's kind of like, it's sad because you got to be smart.
Yeah. So it's not really the best thing to make money at a young age, you're saying?
Well, I mean, no matter what, I think making money is the best thing. But yeah, you know, you're not going to be like, no, don't give me the fucking money. No, not us.
You need education behind it.
Yeah.
You need someone managing you and teaching you along the way so that money is an object, not just the objective. You know,
and that's why you started the Hollywood Handbook to guide people.
Yeah. So I have my new virtual training program that I've been working on for 3 years now, and I'm actually just ready to launch it this summer. It's called the Hollywood Handbook, and it's a true insider's guide into how to make it in Hollywood, how to become a rapper, an actor, a rock star, a reality star, a social media star, how to do your PR, how to create TV shows, how to meet with brands, how to pitch people like me, how to pitch networks. Basically, how do you get the entry point into the entertainment business? The Hollywood Handbook is all of the secret sauce over my 25 years of being in the industry and all of the stars that we've been a part of, hit TV shows, celebrities that came out of nowhere from, you know, the sides of the Housewives and the Kardashians and Ray J and Scott and Brody Jenner and Spencer Pratt and the guys from The Hills and every other show you could imagine. You know, how did we take people like that and catapult them? And that's what you're going to learn in the Hollywood Handbook. So the Hollywood Handbook has really never been done with kind of an insider's view of what this world is like. And you're actually also, depending on what level you want to get to, I want to hear your pitch. I want to see what you're talking about. I want to be immersed with the audience too, because I need to hear ideas. And if I believe in them, I'll get behind them.
Wow.
I'll take you to the meeting. I'll set it up for you. I want to see what's really out there and people who can really follow the direction, because if you can do that, you can become the next Kim K. You can be the next Paris. You can be the next Jake Paul, Ray J. You can be any of these guys. And listen, if you have a lot of talent, show me the talent.
Right.
Because we can set that off for you. We can get you record deals. We can put you on TV shows. We can get you brand deals. So the Hollywood Handbook is kind of like a meeting point and a mentoring business, but it's also a guidebook.
That's awesome. Sounds really valuable, to be honest.
I mean, it's the insider's point of view. It's kind of give you the answers to the test.
And it's very pop culture. So it's guided toward people that you know.
So it's not biased. It's for everybody who wants to get in, no matter what race, color.
It's pop culture.
Yeah.
And so it's really about reality, rappers, influencers, social media. You know what I mean? Like, sure, we're gonna take on Shakespeare and actors and help them, but that's not really what I see people aspiring to be.
All right.
People want to be social media stars. You want to be famous and make as much money as possible in the quickest way possible. And if you can figure out those solutions to do it, there's a very easy way to do it. The other thing that we're really, really good at is brand management and PR. So we have really strategic relationships with many media companies to help get you visibility. So I'm going to teach you how to go viral, how to create content, and how to basically take your content and make people care about it in the media. So it's not just being picked up like, you know, on the main page of Instagram or TikTok, heating up your story. It's about really taking it to the next level and being written about in GQ and Cosmopolitan Magazine and Vogue and big places like that. You know, you want to be on TMZ, you want to be on Daily Mail, I'll show you how to do it. It's not hard. There's like like every celebrity that you see out there has relationships with media companies.
That's all about. That's what life's about. Like relationships.
If you think everybody from Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie down to, you know, Kim K and Ray J and these guys, everybody talks to the media.
Right.
It's a strategic play. Having those relationships from day one got you to where you're at right now. $billion brands are created like this. So anyone that's like, oh, it just happened organically. Yeah, there's an organic process to it, but you got to know how to like make the call.
For sure.
Even with paparazzi are planted there when you're walking out of the bowling alley, when you're walking out of the grocery store.
I mean, you're speaking the truth. A lot of people want to deny that, but bro,
planted, bro.
They call them themselves, right?
Yeah, not them, but they knew where they were.
It depends on who you're saying is them.
Yeah, yeah.
Them is a lot of people, but we'll teach you how to do it. We can also intro these relationships to you because everybody wants to be a part of social media now.
Right.
So, I'm really out there talking to y'all out there. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I want to see the YouTubers. I want to see the fans girls. I want to see the rappers. I want to know about all of them, because the business has changed. I mean, you obviously see fans business and what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is there are people that are richer than anyone could ever imagine with never having to leave their house because of that platform.
I've seen girls make millions a month.
Yeah. We have a JV with a company called Unruly Agency.
Oh, they're huge.
And Unruly is a wonderful company. And my partners over there that we have a lot of clients that we share together, they have a very unique way that they have monetized content and understand the algorithm and how to push it and how to market it. And with what I do and my side, it's been a great JV between the two of us, and we've had a lot of success. And that's a business that's like, you want to see overnight money, it can happen overnight, literally. And we can plug you in that direction. So if you really want to make it in that world too, you have to know how to do every kind of business. Sure, I can make you a record deal. I can show you how to make a TV show. I can show you how to create a fans business. You got to know how to do all of them.
Right.
And that's where the evolution of this game is. So if you're not staying focused on the big picture of how the evolution of entertainment is happening, you're lost. And I am at the crux of that with my clients and my company.
That's awesome. Why do you think a lot of celebrities fall off, especially music artists?
Well, there's a statement in music that you're only as current as your latest hit. So you're only as current and credible as your latest hit.
Yep.
Now, you could have monster hits, okay? And those are going to be timeless classics that no matter what, you're going to make money off of. But you have to keep reinventing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got to stay current with the sound. You got to stay current with the culture.
It's hard to be a Drake. It's hard to be a Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Not a lot of artists last.
You're talking about the 1%.
Why there's like a top 5.
Yeah.
Consistency to me is my number one when it comes to naming top 5 artists because
Yeah.
they've been around for so long.
That's true. We manage Too Short, who's been a part of my company for 20 years, and he's made over 23 albums.
Wow.
And we have a group called Mount Westmore with Snoop and Ice Cube and E40, and we've done a huge arena tours all around the country for the last 2 years. Had a big hit album. But Short is someone that like stays timeless through all the generations
But how?
of rap.
How?
Because he's got his own lane that he's in. He wasn't this or he wasn't that, and he made enough hits and worked with enough people that those hits are so memorable. And when you're like the pimp rapper and you got your own little niche, that stays timeless.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't remember him having a bunch of hits. I've never even heard.
How old are you?
34.
34?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
L.A.
Are you from LA? Well, Short's from LA too.
I mean, he's from Oakland, but I know.
No, he's from LA, but
okay.
he grew up in Oakland.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, I know his lingo, but I never. You don't really hear.
Oh, bro, he had. I'm shocked to hear you say it, but literally
I know who he
record
is.
after record.
Yeah, he's definitely a pioneer, but I just as far as from like him being, I mean,
He's not mainstream. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. He's not like Ice Cube or anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is someone who has stayed in the game
a long time.
a very long time. And with the right team, you continue to stay in the game. And with the right music, you could stay in the game forever. And if you have an archive of hits, you can always perform.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We
We do 3 shows a week every week for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Damn.
That's
Too short.
insane.
Too short. Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's
Every day.
consistency right there. Not a lot of artists.
He just did every arena there is with Snoop and Cube and E40 with Mount Westmore.
It's insane.
So
What were your favorite shows to make? I know you did one with Wires Only.
yes, so my boy RD, Wires Only, the one and only, the true plug. The planes, the jets, the boats, the guy. I wanted to learn the car game when I got into cars pretty heavy about 10 years ago. And I was really buying a lot of cars and trading a lot of cars and customizing a lot of and he wanted to get in the TV game.
Were you getting Scott his cars?
He got Scott a couple cars.
Yeah.
Scott RD got cars for you. RD's gotten cars for everybody.
Yeah.
Straight up. He wanted to learn how to get into TV, and I want to learn how to buy cars at dealer prices. So we kind of like exchanged the formulas.
Yeah.
And it's all played out very well.
Yeah.
And his show $1 Million Wheels. They had a big run on TNT, a big run on Discovery Plus, and who else can you watch, buy, sell, and trade those kind of interesting cars? But that didn't happen overnight. RD's show took 5 years to make.
Wow.
So you think it's like, oh, let's make it happen right now? It's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot.
5 years?
5 years.
Yeah.
So you were the only white person working at Death Row Records.
White person.
I was not the only white person working there. That's very racist. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was the white boy. So
It's a big difference.
So
a white person and a white boy.
it was okay. So it's a weird thing. All right. So I'm working at Interscope Records. So Interscope is this big conglomerate, mega record label, and then they co-own Death Row and do the distribution.
Does Dr. Dre own Interscope?
No.
Okay.
No, Jimmy Iovine owns
Jimmy
Interscope
Iovine.
and Ted
Okay,
Fields.
gotcha. Okay.
So we're all in the same building. All right. So Death Row is kind of like its own area, and then Interscope, but everything is all connected. Now I worked in the rap department of Interscope, so all we did was deal with Death Row products, and basically I'd gotten into USC. I was going to go study in the entertainment business program, which I got my degree in. And I didn't want to stop working. And I was kind of like, I talked to Jimmy and I talked to the guys at Interscope, and they were like, why don't you stay on full time?
Jimmy Iovine with USC, right?
He has a school there.
He has a school there.
He didn't go there.
Yeah.
And either stay on full time or come back. You can't do both. And Suge said to me, well, you can do both. So I'm 18 years old. I'm making $60,000 a year, which was a lot in 1996. And he goes, you're going to come and you can go to school 3 days a week, and you're going to work at Death Row the rest of the time.
Wow.
And that's what I did. And it was wild. So I was at USC. I had the Death Row chain. I had, the cars with the rims and all the crazy. And I was like this white Jewish kid from Beverly Hills who works at Death Row Records.
You were the guy.
And people were
They
just
couldn't believe.
dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like they were,
Trying to figure out how we got in.
because I got to do stuff that people don't get to do.
Right.
I got to, so when Suge was in jail, basically Miss Chalet had all the checks. So no, she had the stamp to the check. So how it would work is Suge would call in from jail, and from prison rather, and he would say, okay, well, we got to pay everybody. We got to pay artists, got to pay everybody, and we'd have a handful of checks. The accountant would print it up. I would take the checks, and then I would go to Miss Chalet's house. And then Miss Chalet would have the check. Suge would call Miss Chalet. She'd come out with the stamp, and she would do boom, 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 boom. So like the payroll at Death Row, like I was the guy that had to execute the payroll.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I got to do stuff that nobody got to do. I was the guy who would move all the reels, like the original reels of Tupac's voice for all the albums. They couldn't trust a lot of people to carry that stuff. And I was somebody that wasn't a target. So like, well, have him do it. Have him do it. He can go to the bank. He can move around in a different way because, it was a
race thing, obviously.
It was,
but it was safety. They trusted you.
People think it was like it was like a gang operate. It was a real functioning mega record label, but it was a little gangster. You know what I mean?
They signed gangsters. That's what it was. So
it wasn't so much that they signed gangsters. It just that was the nature of the business and the nature of the world. But it wasn't that crazy. Looking back on it now,
it was crazy.
Yes, it's
crazy.
But
Yeah.
I
was
didn't think
crazy.
about it like
Yeah.
that. I was just so happy to be a part of it, to have the plaques and to have the clothes and the chain and to be doing something that like, wow, like I look up to these artists.
But that was history, though.
History.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were part of like history, being in that atmosphere with with those pioneers. I mean, Suge had a stable.
Yeah.
I mean, music now today is a mere reflection of what Death Row Records was. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these cats is mimicking that lifestyle.
Of
that
course,
look.
bro. Everything is that.
It's just in a different form. But
Right.
bro, that's Snoop, that's Dr. Dre,
That's Nas.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you also have to remember too.
Eminem,
You have
Jack
to-
Harlow wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Eminem.
Right.
You have to remember too is that this is in the age of physical albums. Physical albums had much more value than streams of digital music. That was an actual thing that had to be manufactured. So the money and the margins were much bigger. So if you sold 10 million records
That was huge.
at $17.95 a record,
Yeah.
I want you to think about those numbers.
And they had to go buy the records. 'Cause
You
they-
had to go buy
go
the
buy
record.
it.
So the money is 3 times what the money was in. So to be an independent African-American man that owned his own masters, had his own record label, had the biggest artist in the world, he made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Suge
Oh.
did.
Suge did. Yeah, hundreds. Brother,
Wow.
But the toys, and like when he went in, because I was like trying to like really grasp what had happened, because my transition out of Interscope into Death Row really happened right after Pac died. And Pac was shot on my birthday, my 18th birthday. And then he died like 5 days. It was very shocking because that whole summer was just the summer of, all eyes on me and just, being a part of that culture. And, I got to see, Suge went to jail very quickly after that. And then I was like really in the trenches at Death Row. So to see all of the accumulation of the Ferraris and the Rolls Royces and, refrigerators full of Cristal and jewelry and houses and private planes and helicopters and boats and everything that they accumulated with that much money at that time, it was absolutely remarkable.
You were in the prime of all that
Bro,
stuff.
I used to go to his to his warehouse where he had while he's in there, and they would have like 20 refrigerators stacked 75 bottles high of cold Cristal.
Wow.
Just sitting there like waiting. It's like, why'd you buy that much? I also had to do weird stuff, like Suge had a piranha tank in his office. I would have to feed the piranhas.
What'd you feed it?
Goldfish every week. You have to go to the go to the
Wow.
pet store, get a bunch of goldfish, go in there, feed that. And you're in there and it's like, you got a movement of culture, and then all of a sudden like you're in there doing the mundane stuff that's just so crazy and bizarre. So
But they respected you though. Like they never like with you. Never got-
absolutely not. My nickname at Death Row, I had a name. That's what they knew me as. And I was known as Super Dave.
Super Dave.
Super Dave. Super Dave was this like cartoon guy that like people knew in the 80s. You guys probably don't know who that is, but I'm sure this guy does. Anyway, so like it was a spin on that. It was like the urban play on that for the white Jewish boy from Beverly Hills. They called him Super Dave. So all like my Death Row clothes and shit had, everyone had their nickname.
Wow.
So that's what they called me.
Why do you think Death Row failed? Because at its peak, it's worth over $1 billion.
Death Row didn't fail. Nobody failed. People got caught up, and parts of the businesses all failed. Death Row as a whole is a groundbreaking company that
Snoop Dogg bought it.
Snoop Dogg has the rights to it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's people. I don't want to speak out of turn, but like it's hard to say who really owns what and how you're gonna exploit licenses and exploit masters and whatever those things are. But there is a business there. So I wouldn't call it a failure. It was just mismanaged. It was a trend-setting business. People should follow what not to do, but also take the inspiration from this story and be able to take it to the next level. Obviously, like the Drakes of the world and the Cash Moneys and a lot of these other businesses that have spawned from that, it wouldn't have happened without the story of Death Row. and to own your own masters. Like, that's it. What do people want today? They want to own their masters. What do we want to own? We want to own our IP. We want to own our TV shows. We want to own our companies. We don't want to just be a person that got paid to do a post. You want to own the company, own the distribution. So like at that time, that was semi unheard of for somebody like that to get that from a place like Interscope.
Right.
So you got to follow in those footsteps. You know, this goes back to the Hollywood Handbook, because the Hollywood Handbook is really like an insider's inside look into like what to do and what not to do, and what might be the easiest way to success and to make money and to monetize your situation. Because I've already lived through the highs and lows of it. I'm going to teach you what to do and what not to do. You know.
And what do you think about modern day music labels? Because you see a lot of controversy on social media about artists not really liking them as much.
Well, I mean, it depends on what level artist you are, and it depends on who your team is and what your deal looks like, you know? Excuse me. A 360 deal, which is like a record company, is kind of like your manager and your record company.
Terrible deal.
That's not a good deal, because you don't like your show money is what you, if you make, let's say you made 2 hits, okay? You're a 2-hit wonder, all right? You made your 2 hits. You should be able to live off of those 2 hits for a good amount of time, maybe 5 to 10 years doing shows where you could make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a week if you had the right level radio song and you had the right promo, and your 2 songs could last that long. So it all depends on what caliber of artist are you. Are you a career artist? Are you Future, or are you Rich the Kid? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Are you Little Pump? Are you Well? Who are you?
Yeah.
You know, are you Too Short? Like, Too Short survived all these years. E40 survived all these years. You know what I mean? So you got to think about how many years can you stay relevant in the game, and did you have the right deal? And at this point, like I said, you got your movie studio and your social media blaster in your hand, where you can cut content and show the world. You have the same thing with music, same quality of function.
Yeah. Wow, I've learned a lot, David. It's been an honor having you here.
Thank you, man.
Any closing thoughts?
No, man. I appreciate you guys having me, and I'm excited to be here. And, you know, whatever I can do to ever help you, I'm happy to do so. Go get the Hollywood Handbook, and you know, check us out.
We'll put an affiliate link in the description.
That would be amazing.
Sir. Wayne?
Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram @TheCreator.
Sean Kelly here, Digital Social Hour. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys
Peace.
next time.